I wish to make a little video today. I'm down in Quincy, May 2020, standing outside the house where John Adams was born, way back in 1735. That house is under reconstruction, I guess. It dates back to the 1680s. Then I want to have a quick look at this other house here where his son, John Quincy Adams, was born. That's an even older house, dating back to the 1660s. These houses are what's known as salt box houses. Very long roof at the rear, facing north, throw up the wind, more exposed at the front to grab as much heat and light as possible in the summer. What I like about this house is that in 1780, three men, they being John Adams, Samuel Adams, and a fellow called James Bowdoin, came together and sat down inside this window here, and they wrote the Massachusetts Constitution, which is the oldest extant still being used constitution in the world. Now unfortunately there's plastic there inside, or otherwise you'll see a copy just placed across a table inside. And it was that constitution that James Madison used to model the United States Constitution upon. Now this salt box had an unusual aspect to its house, because John Adams had his legal offices right inside here. So he constructed a third door onto his house so that people could go right in without disturbing the family unit whatsoever. I'm going to walk around here and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tell a bit about why I think the situation in the country today is a bit dangerous, and perhaps what should be done about to rectify it. But we'll also get a nice view of the rear of John Quincy Adams' house as I go by here. Here we go. What has happened to the United States is it has been slowly but surely, gradually over many, many decades, being reduced to only a shadow of its former self by a group of people called Fabian Socialists, who intend to bring a complete new system into this world, known as a technocracy, or better still, a feudal technocracy, in which a very, very, very small select few will rule over a much larger group, but they'll also have no use for the main numbers of the population, because with automation and computation, etc., they are no longer needed whatsoever. So you are going to see a massive reduction in the population, done in what I believe is known as a soft kill, as distinct from a hard kill when you actually kill them. A soft kill is where you will kill them by economic means, or actually have them kill themselves in strife and food shortages, and economically being unable to provide for their future generations. That is why you're seeing today people having fewer and fewer and fewer children, because they're not able to afford to take care of them, etc. Now, what needs to be done, because there is a certain group of people who have decided that we are excess and must be eliminated, we actually must go back to the system where the country was founded, getting rid of all this government control, bureaucracy, red tape, licensing, permission, brainwashing, fake money, theft, taxation, and going back to being a free man. Otherwise, your children, you may not know it at the moment, will have no future whatsoever. So, I would like to form a group of people, and their intention will be to go back to first principles and have more or less the laws and rules and regulations that existed in 1789 when the US Constitution was brought into force. One of the men that signed that Massachusetts Constitution, he thought it was too central and give too much authority to the government. That was Samuel Adams, and he himself did not sign the Constitution at all. He was what's known as an anti-federalist. I would like to see these politicians and their political class having their powers of coercion removed from them entirely. Today, you need a license to get your hair cut. You need a license to operate. You are barraged with propaganda from morning to noon to night. People will say we're in the land of the brave and the home of the free. Well, we're not free, and nothing is free. And we most certainly aren't brave, because the entire country are living in abject fear and hysteria, even as we speak. From an illness that is very mild in comparison to the flu that came through here in 1969, for example, which did not affect the economy much whatsoever. And I will be laying out the principles involved, but that is basically why I set up this group. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, and it will sound and look very radical at the moment. But in 2 to 3 to 4 months, when the economic system and the situation has completely deteriorated, when the printed money is leading to very high food prices, etc., and when about 50 million people will no longer get their checks and they'll still be unemployed, then you will see a different United States than you are used to today. And that is what I wish to say outside the home of John Quincy Adams, supposedly the most intelligent United States president we ever had, with a knowledge of 11 to 13 languages, depending on who you listen to. Fluent in 6 languages, and an intriguing man. And I will leave it at that for the moment. Thank you very much for listening for these 7 minutes.